How did the conversation with Upsal and Ian Dior took place about the theme of this song? How was it for you to see that you're not alone in this vision of the world we're currently living?
I started that process. The start of that process was Samantha Ronson texting me that she wanted to write something, and she sent me the world's longest text. And I sent her, the only response I sent back was, "Did you write that with thumbs?" I just imagine her sitting there for like an hour, like doing this. And we set up a session and on Zoom. And then like later in the week, I think it was a different person who's unrelated said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this girl Upsal? I think you guys would write something cool together. You should meet her." And I was like, okay, whatever. And then Sam came back to me and she said, she's like, "Pete and I are excited about the Zoom. Have you ever heard of this girl named Upsal?" And I was like, oh my God, like more than one person, like 3 people at this point, Sam and Pete, are mentioning this person to me in 1 week. That's interesting. So I was like, yeah, definitely bring her. I'm going to put her on the Zoom and we'll write together. And so, yeah, we wrote the song and it ended up just being like everyone who heard it after that point, like just loved it. Like I kept getting emails from people like in management and our label who was like, "Dude, I just heard that song. Are you going to put that out? Or like, what are we going to do?" And it all just came together over that, that excitement. I wasn't planning to put out anything or planning to put out this song, but it's really it's all about like the frustrations of 2020 and like the anticipation of 2021. So I feel like it's maybe the most timely or like topical song I've ever done.
The money from the auction is going to go to the Art Center College of Design. What does this mean to you, and why did you decide to make an auction?
So when I released the song, I debuted it as an NFT. If you don't really understand NFTs, the short version is it's a guaranteed and verified ownership of a digital item. Okay. So we think of it like an art print. Yeah. So I made 10 copies and it was a 90-second clip of the song with the artwork that Kane Kaser and I did with the music. And they were all individually numbered. And we did an auction for a few days. And then once they sold, I think that we raised $37,000 US for the charity, it's a scholarship. So not charity, but a scholarship at my college that I went to. And then as like a thank you, we surprised the people that bought them with a physical print that was signed by me and Kane as well.
And in the song, you used the definition of crazy proposed by Einstein. Why do you think it's labeled as crazy to show our own personal opinions instead of putting on a mask and pretending everything's all right?
The idea of like, what's the exact? I want to look at the Einstein thing one more time. I got you. Doing something over and over and expecting a different result for me, it related to not only the frustrations that you have when you're trying to get something right, or you're trying to like create a thing or make a change in your life and you keep trying and trying and trying and you don't get anywhere, is maddening. And also, I felt like that related to quarantine in 2020 because there was this cycle of like being forced to do things the same way in a sense. Like once you got quarantined, you were at home. I just felt like every day was like kind of the same for a while. So that was just a frustration that I wanted to put into words. I felt like it helped create tension between the verse and the chorus, because the chorus is all about, like, at least in my mind, I can be the hero that saves me. Like, at least in my mind, I can be somebody that's like the best version of myself, right? So with that said, like I felt like the verses needed to be about like being like a terrible version, right?
Yeah. And listening to the song seems like last year was the last straw for you. Is there a lot of pressure about what to say or not to say as a public figure like you?
Luckily, I haven't had to deal with the drama that other people have had to deal with. Like I can think of a lot of people who have had to deal with a lot worse in terms of like Twitter drama. Twitter specifically in terms of social media drama. Like I stay away from that to a large degree. But the fact is that they're, the system of social media is set up so that high intensity and dramatic conversation is like elevated by the algorithm, right? That's why you get clickbait posts. That's why you get like sensationalized stories and whatever. So yeah, I as I've gotten older, I've just learned to like just ignore it.
During quarantine, you became a regular streamer on Twitch. How was it for you to have a platform that gave you the opportunity to have one-on-one conversations with fans and people in a year that the pandemic didn't let us do that in person?
Well, the most important thing I think the things to know about my Twitch live stream, the concept from the beginning was just that I 5 days a week, I stream from 10 a.m. to noon LA time, and I make something new every day. So last year I made instrumentals most days, and I produce a song from scratch each time. This year I decided to take it up a level, and now I'm producing songs by fans. So a fan will like basically use the hashtag Shinoda produce me, and we look, the fans on Twitch and I look through those and find the best ones. And I get in contact with those people and I produce their song live. And then after I'm done with it, they can release it. So I think I wanted to give a good opportunity to, new artists and fans who are who want to be professional musicians, who want to, do music instead of their day job.
About this, you've helped a lot of small creators during quarantine. What would you say to those artists that are still kind of afraid to share their work? There's always like a certain level of like anxiety about, making something and letting other people hear it. There's this thing that happens when you share a new creative project with other people that you end up seeing it through their eyes. Like if I play a song that I just wrote for somebody else in the room, then I hear a lot of the problems with it when they're in the room. And so that can be a little hard to get over, but it's really the only way to get better as a musician or an artist is to start to overcome the anxiety about sharing the art. Thank you so much for this interview, and we hope to see you again someday in Chile. Awesome. Thanks so much. Thank you.